Amius is defeated, and I have a reasonable team with a free champion and other accessible champions, I hope, for you, plus my endgame team too. Let's jump right in. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? I have found it very difficult to make relatable content on Amius, but I think this time I finally did it, and so I wanted to share that team with you. I hate this boss. I think he is very stupid. He counters your counters, and that makes it really frustrating. In this boss's mechanic, you want to put heal reduction on him. But if you put heal reduction on him, then he cleanses it. And I just hate that. I hate that so much. There was like rumors floating around that like maybe we were going to get an Amius nerf. I don't know that that's ever coming. Hopefully they will, because I don't think that this boss is fun. And all of the bosses in Raid should be fun. It should be a cool and interesting challenge. And I think that there are a couple changes that I'd like to see. So let me talk about those briefly first. Okay, there's two main things I think should be changed here, and that will really help the situation. Maybe it would make it more enjoyable, but at least it would make it more manageable. On the A1, if this attack kills an enemy, instantly activates his maniacal bedlam skill. Like, if he kills one enemy, he basically just wipes your whole team. So either your team doesn't die or they all die. I hate this. It's so frustrating. It really limits what champions you can use. It's really frustrating. There's really nothing fun about this mechanic. I would probably remove it completely, but if anything, if you want to like nerf it, I would like lower it. So how I would change that is just limit it to killing and repeating once. If this attack kills an enemy, instantly activates it. This can only happen one time, right? So like whenever it can't repeat multiple times and kill your whole team, basically. The other part, I don't even know where it is. I can't even find it in here where you can't kill him. You can't kill him in his second form. I don't know where that is. But that needs to be removed. It's dumb. Why? Why can't you kill him in his second form? Who cares? Who cares? And then the whole thing with the turn meter, I think that just has to go, because that removes your ability to use certain masteries. So anyway, I think that this is a very frustrating boss. I hope they will make changes to it, because I don't think that it's fun right now. And like the final boss, your big boss for this content, it should be fun. It should definitely be fun. One thing I want to mention too is the teams of the week. You're going to see a lot of champions in the teams of the week that I'm also going to use, and you can always come in here and look at the teams of the week. You probably are going to have no idea how to build them, but it's at least a good starting point. I don't know. It's like we don't know what player this is. We don't know what stats it has, and you know, we know the only thing we know is the gear sets and the champions. It's helpful, but also it's not the best. So anyway, this is going to be the team that I used to beat Amius this week. And I also used another team, which we'll get to in a minute. But the key to this victory was Rathalos Blademaster. And what's great about him is you can really build him for damage. You can really build him for damage. Because whenever he does this A2, he's ignoring 100% of the defense. So you can take out big chunks of whatever boss. He's great in Hydra too. And all you need is crit damage. So you can just stack it. You can either use like the crit damage and killstroke sets, or if you're going to use my build, you'll see that we're going to take extra turns. So, Rathalos Blademaster, everybody who's working on Amius hard right now should have him. If you're working on Amius normal, just continue farming more gear. He is manageable to do, but really, he's a really big gear check. So, I mean, I think that he's the boss is doable no matter where you're at in the game, but it depends on your gear is the most important thing. Now, the second most important thing here is the ally attack. I chose Padrag because he has that cleanse, but also mainly because of the increased attack. You do want increased attack somewhere in this team. Padrag worked really well for me. It could be any ally attack champion. I'm sure Mikage would be fine, but then maybe you'd want to have increased attack somewhere else. I did also have increased attack with Glycade, but I also wanted this to be able to be any reviver, so that's going to be helpful. Another reason that he's helpful is because of the Perfect Veil. That's going to lower your damage. You can get those buffs removed, and that's problematic, but he is helpful, so that's who I went with. Also, you're going to note that all of my champions have blessings, and that's going to make me feel a lot more survivable. I chose Kaja in here for a couple of reasons. She does have this really nice turn meter boost with the block debuffs. That's really helpful. While the block debuffs is there, then you can't have those other nasty debuffs put on you. So she also has an AoE revive, okay, which I found to be pretty key. I think the AoE revive is going to really help you out of some tough situations. If you have a single target revive like Elva or something who's really good, then you're just going to have to be more patient with your runs. I put Cecia in here. She is going to be a decreased defense champion, but HP burn actually works fairly well on this boss. He has a lot of HP, so it's kind of a big tick. And you can get decreased defense and weaken, which is really helpful as well. I'm sure this spot could probably be Lydia, but you're going to have to test for yourself. Another thing that I didn't put in this team on purpose is Brimstone. Why didn't I put it on this team on purpose? Because that is an additional boost that you can give to your team that will help you even more. I'm just showing you didn't need it, but Brimstone, especially like 5-star protected Brimstone, would be a very huge help to this team. And so if you can't make the team exactly the way that I'm going to show you, then you'll have that Brimstone to fall back on as another way to do it. All right, so what are the stats on these champions? Let's do that. Let's talk about that. I'm sure you want to see the Amius run. I'm sure you want to see the other team. We'll get to all of that. Okay, now I basically, I kind of messed up the gear. I made his gear a little bit better than what it was during the run. During the run, he did not have this good of gear. So if your stats aren't quite this good, that'll be okay. I see a lot of people with like 6k attack and like 280 crit damage. I think that's where I was at as well. So keep that in mind with your build. And again, you can just stack as much crit damage on him as you want to. I have him in Relentless, and I have a 2-piece Slayer in there just because I could. And then I just have a 1-piece. I have a 1-piece Pinpoint. I don't really know why. That's just what I have on him, and that's what I'm going to show you, okay? As for the masteries, nothing crazy here. On Glycade, now my Glycade build is in 9-piece protection. Kaja's also in 9-piece protection, and so that is going to give more damage to Rathalos. I don't think it's very significant because he's ignoring 100% of the defense, but you should be checking to see if you can get 9-piece protection on your champions. I guess I also have that on Grand Oak Padrag. So I'm not sure how relatable the gear is, but I do think you should be able to do it without those gear sets. But I will tell you the speeds I have is pretty fast. Like if we take a look at Padrag's speed, he's 290. If we take a look at Glycade's speed, he's 293. And then Kaja, she is 296. So you might have to move your best gear to these champions in order to make this build work. The Cecia, she's in random crap gear. Okay, I'll be just honest with you, but it is fast. Again, 291. And then Rathalos, if we just slot his speed in here, he's the slowest one at 245. So I know I have incredible speeds on these champions, but that's the kind of builds that it takes to make this work for Amius on hard, okay? If you're doing normal, then I would be shooting for 240 or 250 speed for your champions, but on hard, you need them moving really fast. Padraig is going to help with that as well because he has the turn meter boost and the increased speed. We have a turn meter boost on Grandoke as well. We have a turn meter boost on her. You can see that this team cycles through really quickly, all right? And that was the purpose of this team, was to cycle through really quickly. So let's jump in and see the run. Okay, so mostly I ran this on auto, and I think that you'll probably have more success if you don't run it on auto, but I didn't really want to be manualing a whole bunch of test runs, so I ran it on auto, okay? And that means that if you're running it not on auto, you'll probably have more success. And you can see there a big chunk from Rathalos Blademaster, and that's really helpful. Another really helpful thing is even if you can't get a 9-piece protection set on your champions, putting protection set in general is going to be really helpful because then that way he can't remove your buffs. And that is super helpful. So there we go. He kills Rathalos and then he didn't kill Padraig. So that's great. So we didn't get all of our skills, all of our champions killed. But if you do, then you'll just have to revive. Okay. You will just have to revive. Excuse me, my dude, why did you not? Okay, here we go. We don't have any AI for this. That does make it kind of difficult, but if it doesn't work the first time, then you just need to rerun it, okay? I did have to rerun this a couple times in order to make sure the run went very stable, but you just have to, try, you have to try more than once if needed, and if you're not having Padraig, you're going to need another type of healer here, so that is pretty relevant. I'm going to get to the end of the boss fight, but basically, we just keep cycling back and forth here until Rathalos kills him on the correct form. While I'm fighting through this, I really wish that this boss couldn't remove shields. I think that that makes the boss excessively difficult, and I don't think that that's needed. So I just want to throw that in here in the middle. I was about to say we just beat the boss, but we killed him in his alternate form barely before he switched back. So we're going to have to wait and kill him in this form. It's so frustrating. Okay, and there you have it. I think this was actually my fastest run, 340, which is 126 turns. And again, you definitely need the 2 revivers. There were times in there where I revived a lot of champions, and you want to make sure you have 2 revivers, so that way you can get through the content. I think if you're struggling with survivability here, because it's not, it's not like an amazing, super crazy team that is immune to death or anything, right? It's not an unkillable team or anything like that. You can die. You can wipe. So if that's the case, I would put another healer in the Cecia spot and it'll just take more time, right? It'll just take more time. So what is the second team? Go into your best team screen, okay? That is going to show you what the other people in your clan specifically did, and you can message them. Hopefully you have a clan Discord, and you'll be like, hey, I see that you used Drexstar. How good was that, Can you help me with what build you used? And you can see here, my dude Beavis is using some HP Burns, Duchess, and our dude, Rathalos Blademaster. He's very common. The other team that I used was Terrace Marichka and a +4 6-star Candrafon. I don't think that's very accessible, but if you have these champions, this team is really good also, so you can Terrace Marichka them. I do that on a lot of rotations. It's not a surprise that that's good, okay? It's not a surprise. And then the global rankings are just like actually insane, like 5, 6, 7, 20 turns. Which, I mean, I don't know. Mine's not that far off, I suppose, but it's also not that close. So, let me know what you think. What information was I missing from this video to make this work for you? And let me know in the comments how accessible the team is. I really feel like the team is not that bad. We've had Glycade multiple times. Padrag was a champion everyone could get. Cecia, Kaja was a fusion. I don't know. Maybe you don't have any of these champions and the only one you have is Rathalos. I don't know. You have to let me know. I really hope this was helpful to you. I didn't make this video for me. I made it for you. So if it wasn't, then let me know and I'll keep searching and I'll try to find another team. So I got another video planned for tomorrow on Iron Twins. I found a sweet epic that makes Iron Twins really easy. So make sure you tune in for that. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. Have a great day. I will see you later.